That's head coach John Tortorella. His team losing tonight to Detroit 3-1. I'm joined now by Jody Shelley. And I think Torch just put it really into perspective. That was not a great game tonight. Now, it's great for the Detroit Red Wings. They get the win. They get the points they were looking for to get back into the playoff race. But the scoring chances were they were hard to come by. And he just said that he didn't think that his team really played hard enough tonight. You're between the benches. What did you sense going on down there?
Well, it's hard. I mean, it's hard to sense because the guys come back. They go out on the ice and they're working hard. They come back. There's no doubt they're working hard. But there's details of the game. There's one-on-one battles that they'll lose. There's battles in front of the goaltender that they'll lose. And I don't think they fought hard enough to get the puck on Jimmy Howard. I mean, there were barely any rebounds off Howard. It seemed like he gobbled up every shot, routine save right in the middle of his stomach, and no rebound. There at the end, they scored a goal on a couple rebounds, but didn't battle to get pucks to the net. I think that's what he's talking about. There's working hard. The guys are all skating hard. But in the moments when you're at battle or you're trying to create something, like Bob, if we're on the same line and you have the puck, I have to work to get open for you. And there wasn't a lot of that tonight. It was Detroit. I mean, they just kind of got that goal and hung around. Yeah. And I mean, that's what good teams do. They find ways to win. It wasn't pretty, but they got the job done.
That's a good point you make about Jimmy Howard, though, because it was only a week and a half ago, and the Blue Jackets put 4 goals up on this guy, and they were pretty much doing whatever they wanted to against him on that night. They were crashing the net. They were getting rebounds and all of that stuff. But tonight, he was completely different. They were completely different. Yeah,
it seemed like they played a very safe game. When you think of Detroit, you think of that power play being so dynamic. Well, that's flat. You think about their speed and how they attack wave after wave after wave. It didn't seem like they had that. And I thought that was in the obviously 1-0 going into the third. That was in the favor of the Blue Jackets after that first 2 periods, and they did ramp it up to start the third period. But just too many passengers in the sense that the Dubinsky line got put back together. I thought they did some good things, and then the next line might have had a hole in it, and from there the next line comes out and does a good job. Just not enough. You've got to build shift after shift to create and cause that momentum, and then keep it. And the Blue Jackets didn't do that at home tonight. And those fans tonight. Too little, too late, but they were waiting to have something to cheer about to outdo those Red Wings fans. It just didn't come soon enough.
No, it didn't. You're absolutely right. From a player that's been in the room in situations like this, you've got a team that's gone almost 2 full games without scoring a goal. You do start to question yourself, right? As a team, you start to say, what are we doing? And Ryan Murray even said it to me a couple of minutes ago. Maybe you start to do too much when you get into these situations. But what is the frame of mind got to be right now with only a day in between this game and the next one?
Well, I'll tell you, what's interesting is that I've been on these teams that are out at this point of the season, and you look at your teammates and you see, you're not cheating your teammates. You're not cheating your coaches. They know if you're taking shortcuts. They know if you're not out there in the third period down by 2 or 3 goals, if you're not blocking the shot, if you're not giving that extra effort. So, this analysis and the way Tortorella and his coaching staff are assessing this group, these are moments. These are key character moments when you're late in the game. Who is actually going after this right now? So it's disappointing in the sense that you're looking to guys to grab this and take it, but nobody did. And I know it seems like they're not in the playoffs. There's nothing to play for, you say. There's a lot to play for because there's the pride of the team, the pride of the fans, and when you don't see that effort late in that game, it's kind of discouraging as players, and they've got to regroup now, and they've got to find a way. They have no choice. They've got to play a better game, and they've got to have leadership step up, grab this thing, and say, "Hey, boys, we got a big game against the Devils." Every game is a big game in an 82-game season. We're not playing that playoff style, but you've got to play for the pride, and that really, I tell you, that creates a little bit of friction in the room when guys don't do it.
Are you surprised, with all of that being said, that there wasn't a little bit more because of the guys that were brought up? Because not only is it a chance for them to show what they can do. Oliver Bjorkstrand is the #1 example. This guy is supposed to be a star in this organization someday, sooner than later.
Oh, yeah, he will be.
And he gets called up here. They want to look at him. He makes his NHL debut. But also, as he goes in on the second line and on the top power play unit, there's a clear message to everybody else saying, hey, there are people pushing here. So, with that being said, are you surprised that maybe there wasn't as much? Because, look, if there are guys that aren't doing what they need to do, then the conversation in the summertime, it's going to change the conversation in the summertime.
Well, and it's so easy to be critical when they lose. We all feel the same way. We're discouraged. But maybe they scratched the wrong guys tonight. in Jared Bull and Rene Bork. Those guys don't want to sit out of the lineup. Those guys have something to play for and something to prove in and out of the lineup all season long. You know, you move Jenner to the middle, okay, that's a good test, but Jenner shows up every single shift. You know, there's other guys that do too. But as this goes along, no, there's going to be moving parts. I mean, you saw, and Torts said it, 100 line combinations. Yeah. That's how it's going to be. And you could sense with Tortorella a little bit of discouragement on the bench tonight. He wasn't yelling and screaming. He was kind of standing back and letting those veterans see if they would grab it. So, yeah, Bob, I think that definitely that's a situation where from here on out, the assessment is true and it's on. But your colors come true in times like this, and this is a hard time to play hockey, but this is when you have to be the ultimate pro and carry the weight of the team, especially the leadership.
All right, Blue Jackets are back on the ice right here at Nationwide Arena on Saturday to wrap up this 5-game homestand. They will play in New Jersey on Sunday, back-to-back, home and home with the Devils. That'll do it for our portion of the Tim Hortons post-game show. Milan Jordan will pick it up on the other side. For Jody Shelley, I'm Bob McElligott saying so long. Thanks for listening to the Columbus Blue Jackets Scioto Downs Radio Network.